The type of attention you get and who you get it from determines where we end up in life.
We are we got.
This has already been accepted at the University of Texas in Austin, electrical
In a
engineering.
community where the statistics aren't the best, the default isn't the best either.
The gentleman who's going to be on the field representing South San,
Defensive captain of the varsity football team.
Mr. Jesus Rendon.
His life to giving back to this community.
St. Joseph's Catholic Church Choir.
So I decided to start a nonprofit called Building a Purpose.
And if we can raise that default to be something of higher standards,
Help students find their purpose in life.
I think we can do something
We are we need.
special.
Rendon
by
podcast
default.
where we talk about life, purpose, and God. Our next guest here is Joe Coronado, who is a resident of the community, soon to be back welcomed into the South Side again. A former student who attended Kennedy, unfortunately, Kennedy High School. We'll forgive him for that. No South San Bobcat, but he's just across the bridge. He has a pretty extensive experience in different fields. Worked at a zoo. Also worked in Florida for Disney stuff. Yeah. And you, most on the internet would probably know him from his YouTube channel, his Instagram, TikTok, known as Chancla Academy. Joe, thank you for coming on board, brother.
Thank you for having me.
So, what's new? What's popping right now?
Geez, a lot's happening right now. We're getting ready to move back to the south side of San Antonio, which is kind of exciting. But we're glad overall. I just been kind of taking it slow right now, just kind of finding a purpose, finding my way through everything that I've been doing for the last 4.5 years. Chancla Academy is about to turn 5 years old in October.
All right.
It's crazy how long it's been. Time flies. And now just kind of finding a more direct way to push the brand that I thought it was into something new. And I've met a lot of amazing people along the way that are teaching me all these cool things. So I'm really excited about where that's going. But and hopefully just, we'll be working with some other people and making a few big announcements probably by the fall. And, but a lot of good stuff has been going on. So that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Can't say much.
Hey, you've been cooking
Big
for a
things
while.
coming.
Big things coming.
Big things coming. No.
You heard it here first. No, but you've been cooking for a while, and I think most people think when it comes to folks on social media and influencers that it's an overnight sensation type of gig or job. But following your content, which I've done for a while now, before we started talking, I think you're so relatable. You're like a Theo Joe or Theo Jose, right? And it's like, oh shoot, man, he said it. I'd probably never say it out loud, but he's thinking, and I'm thinking you're saying it, and it's more than anything, it's relatable, and you're able to connect.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's obviously been such a critical part of your success and being so well received from many people.
Yeah, I think we live in an age now where people are afraid to say anything, and they're afraid of getting canceled or whatever it is. But I grew up during a time where it was okay to say a lot of the things that we were saying, right? We just said what was on our mind, and people accepted it. And I'm not going around and purposely trying to offend people or whatever, but I mean, we're Latinos, we say it how it is, and that's just the way it is. And I think people miss that. They remember a time when you could say all these things and just have fun and be expressive. And I think in the Latino community, that's something that we need to continue to push, because I see how a lot of these kids nowadays, they're silencing themselves. They're quiet. They're not really speaking up. And I'm like, doesn't matter what you say or what you're going through. Just say what's on your mind or on your heart and just keep going. And I'm hoping that that's what my content does, is like you said, you're thinking it, I say it for you, but I want you to be able to embrace that part of yourself as a human being and say, I can say that too. Right. I get it. We all have different jobs and stuff, but you control your path, and you just speak your mind and speak it from the heart and keep going. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's more you take your audience on a journey, right, back to a place where it's like, oh, through those sequence of actions in your videos that you do, it triggers something, and it's not necessarily that I personally wouldn't say it, but it's hadn't thought about it like that in a while. And then it's like, that there it is. There's that phrase. There's that. Yeah.
It reminds you of that Theo you forgot about 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's like, he does that. He does that.
But it's funny because people think that when I make so for a long time I thought that I was only speaking to people from the past, like people my age. But I have these young kids, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm meeting these kids with their moms, and they're like, dude, my mom's exactly like that. And I'm like, over the years, I started to realize, like, this is a continuation.
Yeah.
It's never stopped. I was like, this only happened to me. But all those kids that are growing up in the hood or just have that type of mom or dad, we grew up with that, and now we become those people. And those kids are experiencing, they're like, nope. That didn't happen to you in the, just in the 90s. I'm 17 right now. My mom talks like that, or my uncle's like that. And so it's interesting to see that it's not just relatable to my childhood. It's happening now. And so that's why they relate so much. And, even when you get approval from like the elders, oh, mijo, my husband's still like that, and or whatever, and it's just like, oh, okay. It's cool. It's really cool.
One of the videos I'm just gonna call out that video is you talked about it's like you had your phone down there and you got a chancla right here, and you're like, not everything has to be a hidden gem, and like like that cadence that would not everything like you're getting it, man. And then you see the chancla like straight at the lid. I don't know, it's just that blew me up, man. I was like, not everything, because
it's true. Not everything is a hidden gem. You just because you haven't seen it before.
And then I say hidden gem all the damn time.
I'm all like, it's not hidden, bro. It's been there. It's just you haven't discovered it yet.
Right.
But I guess it's just a term people just love to use on the internet. But I get so angry. I'm like, man, that's been there for like 40 years.
Yeah.
It's not hidden. People know about it. That's why it's so busy when you're there. Like, But
then you look at, like, let's break down that video, right? It's like, okay, so it started because somebody probably says it all the time. It pissed you off or annoyed you.
Yeah.
But when you break it out as a director, as an artist, as a film person creating stuff, it's like, okay, well, what's the hook, right? And then it's like, well, there's all these effects that trigger other things, and the way it meshed together, it's even more powerful when it's organic and it's natural, right? And I don't know, I think
when I shot that video, because everything I do, a lot of it's improv based, right? But I also think about, if I said hidden gem, and I know if I were to walk, if my grandmother was alive to this day, and I'm like, hey guys, I found a hidden gem, I could already hear what my grandmother would be telling me. In without the camera, she'd be smacking the crap out of me, saying, it's not a hidden gem, it's been there, I've been going there since I was a kid, and you don't even know como que hidden, and all. I hear it in my head, and so I said, how would I react to this?
Right.
And so I remember when I first, there was a Mexican restaurant, I forget the name of it, but I've seen it there, it's been there for years. And I literally was so upset. I was like, that's not a hidden gem. I was like shaking my phone like if it was a person. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to record this and then put it out there. And then that's when you got what you got.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is how my grandmother, she'd rip her chunk off.
I'm gonna on the hidden gem topic. I think I may have heard you and I may have not heard you, but did you call Blanquitas a hidden gem?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
I don't remember.
Because I know you like Blanquitas quite a bit,
love
and they're good. And we'd go to we working at Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Working at Port San Antonio in that area. All the military guys were always going to Blanquitas for lunch and stuff.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and
it was like, but is he calling Blanquitas a hidden gem? I'm about to guess what I brought, Joe, right? It's Under Armour Chancla.
Damn,
Under Armour. Not everything is a hidden gem. But
what size is that, bro?
Yeah, that's a big one. Actually, that was when my feet were smaller when I was 13. College. I keep chanclas for a long time. Do you remember Mama Margie's tacos at 49 cents?
Yes,
dude. When it was on Sasamora and military, not the new one, the old one. Yeah.
They don't do the free chips anymore and the cheese. I'm like, man, I come here because I'm poor. Like,
dude, bean and cheese tacos from Mama Margie's. It was because it's so cheap.
Yeah,
like, man, I get 4 of them for $80 something.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
That was the same thing at Picnic. You can get
just like that.
You got a brown bag from them, $5, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 things of fries, and your sodas.
Do you know any places that sell bean and cheese tacos for less than $1?
No.
I do.
Where?
San Antonio Bakery, 99 cents.
Shut up.
San Antonio Bakery, it's right across the street from South San. And I'm a Esmeralda's Bakery right here in the neighborhood. But my grandma, when she was alive, my great grandma when she was alive, she'd always have fresh bakery from there. And then all the kids from South San, they all hit up that spot, and they know. And man, they're building a whole new right next to it. I guess they
Yeah.
bought the lot over.
Yeah.
But I was going over there and I was just getting tacos because it reminded me of my grandma being down the street, and they're good. They sell tortillas just like Del Rio does, and they actually have a taco, bean and cheese for 99 cents. And I was
that.
like, man, I know they're losing on that one, but give me 20 of them.
Dude, how do you feel about La Panaderia coming to the south side? Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So this
Where
this,
are they starting?
Okay, so they
started
they have a place downtown, and I think they have a place off of Broadway. And I went to go try their food, and it's a very high end gentrified type of style of like conchas and stuff. It's they have this thing called tres leches, and but not the cake.
Okay.
It's a croissant with whipped cream in the middle and a cherry on top. That's not tres leches.
Yeah.
I went and I tasted their food. I shit on them, and I got some backlash from that. But I turned around and I was like, these people don't even know what they are. They're Mexican French infusion. It's not.
Authentic.
It's not authentic, and my biggest worry is they're gonna come in and they're gonna set a standard for this kind of food, and then all these panaderias in the area are gonna suffer because it's like you're gonna rip away. You're gonna say that's cheap and not good, and this is over here. Like I get it. They want to. That's their style, their look, whatever.
They're gonna commercialize with their brand.
Yeah, and all these people that work hard they get up at 4 a.m. I'm sure they do too, but they got a big team to do it. But these local mom and pop panaderias, they work hard. They put this stuff out there, and I'm like, I'm worried about it. I think I know exactly where they're gonna put. They're gonna put it in Brook City base.
Yeah, probably.
That's where everything goes, all the fancy shit. But I love all the Cinderella Bakery, La Popular. I love them. And they've expanded, but they're not like commercialized like expansion. They got they always put number 3, number 2. Yeah, we get it. You got multiple locations.
Yeah, y'all are doing pretty good.
Yeah, stop showing off.
Have you seen that Cuatro Leches place on Las Palmas or on General McMullen?
No.
Yeah, it's before you get to St. Jude's.
Yeah.
Me and my daughter, we got off and we had some Cuatro Leches. I was like, I've never heard of and apparently it's like chocolate milk or something. I don't know, but it's a little, not a lost gem, hidden gem. It's a little hole in the wall.
It's to stay hidden.
Yeah, we bought it and I was like, it was all right. It wasn't that good, but it's like it suckered me in because it's unique. You don't see Cuatro Leches.
No, I've never even heard of that. Yeah, no, the only thing I know.
Well, it's your neck of the woods. That's why I was like,
well, now I'm back, so it's like I found out they closed Luby's down at Las Palmas, which sucks. And then they opened up a Mambo's, which Mambo's is pretty good, but I don't think that restaurant's gonna last very long there. They opened up one on Marbach, and it lasted like 4 months, and they shut it down.
Did they?
So I was just like, you guys suck. But I mean, I saw that Las Palmas is gonna get a $15 million upgrade and
HEB?
Yeah,
I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean.
Everybody had different takes on it, right? They like the authentic kind of old school look. Well, it's the same thing with the one in Aguilitos. Remember that one?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
now
mind.
it's super cool because it had the basement, the elevator, but then like, that elevator's broke or the escalator's broke. Man, it sucks.
Yeah, it's what's the word that I want to use? It's a novelty. And I kind of have an idea of what they're going to do to this Las Palmas HEB. They're going to still keep it that old classic look, but it's just going to be newer looking. And the problem I have with that is that with upgrades comes price hikes. Gentrification. Look, I'm all for gentrification in a way if it's going to improve our communities.
Sure.
But if it's going to start raising the rent and property, like it's like you're pricing out all the people in the area. And I'll tell you off camera some stuff I know that I heard. I know I heard from my own ears from them.
There's a lot of they designate opportunity zones, but then a lot of times the perks that come in opportunity zones are for big developers, right?
Yeah.
And they're incentives for those big companies to come drop out. And it's like, hey, what about the, not multi-millionaire small business?
Well, you have
folks
like
right?
Techport, right? Boeing Center. Not everybody knows that it's there.
Right.
They're like, Joe, we're struggling with getting the people come here. It's like the people that are here don't know it's here because you don't advertise it to those people. You don't let them know that they can come here, that there's an opportunity for X, Y, and Z. You're just here, and you expect people to tell them they have like a museum and all this other crap.
Yeah, Sam said.
Yeah, and it's nice. I like it. They even did they do something called Fiesta de los Niños And I was glad to be a part of that for a couple years because we took local rock bands and gave them an opportunity to put their name in the lights and stuff, and it was a really cool experience. But they don't want to advertise it as this, like, we're doing local stuff or we're doing this or that. And it's like, you're never going to build a community.
I think there's a stigma around it being an Air Force for so long, and it's like, we can't go in there, and it's very walled off. I will say, some of the Paco from Port San Antonio comes to the neighborhood association. He's when I moved back down,
I love Paco.
He was really trying to help me to get a job, and I told this to Paco that on the podcast we had with him. I haven't released it yet, but man, I had the hardest time, and I would go to TJ's Burgers during lunchtime, and I'd look for folks with badges on them.
Yeah,
I mean, you call me whatever you want to call it, but I mean, I'd be like, hey, you work at Boeing or you work at Booz or you work at all these different companies, and do you know if they're applying? I went to UT, graduate. I still work in Austin. I'm driving back and forth, and I'd take a couple of days off, and especially Fridays, right? Because I stay home, I wouldn't have to drive, and I'd hit up.
Yeah.
And I hustled to get a job, and eventually I landed a good role, and I found my stride, but getting into that workforce that I want to say it's like a $13 billion economic impact that it has. Watching the jets fly out of your backyard, it needs to be more accessible. And to me, that's very important. And making a full circle moment, right? From the students, from the kids at Kennedy, their damn mascot's a rocket, Yeah. And kids at South San and there's programs that really help to get those students placed in there. But I think we should see more from our neighborhood than we should from Virginia, right? Than from DC, and that's always been something that's really been a bone to pick with me. And Brooks, you talk about Brooks's development and their model and how they're different than Port San Antonio, right? Brooks sells their buildings, right? Yeah. For you mentioned where your son works, and man, they're a great company. I couldn't get into there. It was hard for me to get into there. I mean, man, it was. They're a blessing to have in the community in the ecosystem for that type of technology. But more than anything, you can see how gentrification has happened in Brooks, and we'll see what happens here. We're still figuring it out.
I had a meeting with Jim Pershbach a couple of times. I had told him about that rock fest I was trying to do, and they were going to allow me to have it there, and I don't know what happened along the way. And the thing that, and I get it, when you're in a corporate setting like that, there's certain standards and agendas that you have that you want to accomplish. And I think if they, and I'm not like what's the word that I'm looking for? I use the word Marxist because I feel like when I say Latino, I think they think I'm like this crazy guy that's like, Mexicans rule. I want to be able to use my voice and be able to use my face as a way to let people know, like, because I have a lot of people that see me and they're like, dude, you did this with Gabriel Iglesias, you did this, you did that. That's motivated me to do my stand-up or open up my small business as a motivator. So when I go and I announce these things because these people are telling me one thing and then it doesn't happen, it sucks because all those people that we've just, you've motivated like maybe 50 to 100 Latinos or people in general that want to do something now because they see me going. It's just like, you're missing an opportunity here. Like these people, like, let me tell you how motivating I can be. I was at SmackDown. Okay.
Yeah. This past weekend.
A group of kids. Okay. Like 12 of them. They're like, dude, we heard you were going to be here. So we bought tickets. Those tickets are $100 a piece, bro.
12-year-olds found that $100, man.
And I'm like, are you serious? You came here because I was here? They're like, yeah, we came here. We were looking for you. We found you. We took pictures, everything. And they're like, yeah, we're going to enjoy SmackDown. It's like we're watching it with you. And you're just like, WWE just made $1,200 with these. What the hell? But I mean, it's just like, I'm not trying to come off as like, oh, I'm the guy, right? But I've done so much so far. You're not going to name any other creator. Yeah, other creators are probably have done stuff with celebrities, but not to the extent that I have. They post celebrities on their page for the fact of, oh, look, I'm hanging out with this person. I'm making an impact with these celebrities, getting to go on tour with them or open up for them or do a film with them. Like right now I'm working with Brian Hart. He did the first 5 seasons of Mad TV. Like he was the writer for Mad TV. For this guy believes so much in my little Mexican horror movie that he's helping me write it. You know, it's one of those things. Like name another creator doing that, and you can't because it doesn't exist. But you know, I'm really hoping that in the future I can go back to Bowen and say, hey, let's bring back this Rockfest. Let's do this. Let's do that, and they'll say yes. You know, but I've learned a lot of stuff too from them that I need to get prepared for. But it sucks. But I mean, I see what you're doing, and so you know.
We tried to get space. Our nonprofit Building and Purpose tried to get space at Port San Antonio for many years,
especially with that new building they're going to build.
Well, before the new building, I mean, we knew as a neighborhood association, we knew that it was coming, and we supported it. I mean, it was awesome to have something like that in our backyard, and X, Y, and Z, and the Heritage Foundation that's going back into the schools, the money they make from there. It's super expensive to rent that building out, though. I mean, to have
it's
it
like 20 grand.
Yeah, 25. Last number I've heard for a little. Couple hours or whatever. And you know, obviously it's a business, inflation, everything. They're subbing it out for a managing company to host all that, and then whatever profits they get, they throw it to that foundation. So I see the full circle going back into the community and everything. SAMSAT, you know, David Monroe and what he's done and being in the neighborhood and to starting all that up, and the irony right across from the building, the wreck that I was telling you, my neighbor in the front, him and David Monroe were actually worked at the same company. He was a director, and he owns the two buildings in front of ours, and just such a small world. And he's like, SAMSAT, and he was telling us how they were making the first cell phone camera and all that back in the day, and just such a collaborative environment. I think they're doing good things, and I think Port San Antonio really invested on those two organizations being the premier way to reach out through the community and do as much as they can. So I know Jim likes rock, and I think that's probably why you're like going into that, right? It's like,
Jim loves rock and roll. I told him about it, and he's like, why don't we do it here? Then we did Fiesta de los Niños, and I brought those bands, and he's like, you did an amazing job. You did great. I was like, oh, do I have a job here now? Like, you know, what do I do? Then I don't know what happened. I went to go talk to Paco, and then I learned about, you know, building. There were certain things that they needed to see beforehand, you know, having like a vision board and everything, and getting all that stuff set up for them. And, you know, these aren't things I don't know, right? Because for me, the way I see it is like, if you come to me and say, hey, we're going to do something, right? And I come to you and I pitch to you, and you're like, well, where's this and where's that? I'm like, you didn't ask for that. You just told me to come and tell you how this is going to activate the community. You know, I learned that word. I didn't know what that meant. Like, activate? What are we activating here? You know?
Right.
So I went home and I did research and stuff. And I said, okay, well, now I know I need to do X, Y, and Z. But it's crazy because the way I think of it is, if I can pitch something to a big time comedian with no activation, no nothing,
right.
and they say, yeah, and here's $250,000. What do I got to do here? I get it. But it's just like, I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities right now that I think they could take advantage of if they really, because the last time I talked to them, which was a little over a year ago, their thing was that the community, they want more of the community to be involved at Techport. And I'm like, I'm your guy, but you're not wanting to, I mean, I'm not even asking you to pay me. Just, I get the credit for making sure that this happened. You know, and we did that for 2 years with Fiesta de los Niños, but it was Fiesta de los Niños is not an event that, I mean, I saw a lot of the feedback from last year, and the first 2 years were pretty good because, I mean, I brought the bands and I kind of did some stuff and I was there, but I'm not the reason why it was good. I think it had its honeymoon phase, and now whoever's running it now, people are just like, it sucked. I don't know why they are even doing this. It's dumb. And I'm like, it's not dumb. I think it's great.
Yeah.
You bring in all these
It's good to
kids.
have something like that in this area.
Yeah. You know, free rides and stuff. Like, why not? I think people just don't have the right motivator for that to get them to be there and see why it's good.
Right.
So when you have somebody like me who's that motivator, you know, that's why they're called influencers, because we influence you to say, well, we tell you this is good. Yeah, you're right. You know, that's where I'm an influencer. I'm not going to sell you crap, you know, the latest makeup or whatever, but I'm going to tell you that this is good for you. And people will take that, but they don't want that.
Yeah, it's. I've had. I was a little disappointed when we couldn't get space there from the nonprofit.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't think that each of those people on an independent level didn't believe in us.
No, yeah, and I totally
and I
agree
know
with
they
that.
got a board to report to, and I think that more than anything, it's like does the mission. They've always supported us on a monetary small scale, right?
And it's crazy because I'm still good friends with Beto Altamirano, who was on the board. And I mean, he did his best to make sure Rockfest happened for sure. And then there was another guy I forget his name, but he's a comedian. He's been a comedian. And he's like, I was on the board during that time. And I was like, man, I wish I knew you. And now Gabe Parias, who's also a comedian, is sitting on the board. And I think that's where I kind of go back and I look at like all the things I've done. I'm like, man, I've been friends with.
You should be on the board next. Is what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, not me, because I'd say yes to a lot of things. But it's crazy because I have all these connections with these really cool, important
Leaders.
people and these leaders. Yeah. And it's like, what am I doing wrong that I can't get them to allow me to do this thing? Or like, what do I need to do next? And so I said, you know what, maybe I'm just not that guy that can put a board together and do this and that. I can only tell you what's in here and come from here. And I would hope that you could understand where I'm coming from. And if I needed help to put that stuff together, I could do it. Right. But I think my biggest problem with this is that it's not me reaching out. It's them reaching out. I don't ever reach out to these people. People reach out to me. And then when I have my ideas, it's just, they want me to do all these things. I'm like, okay, well, let's do it like this. And they're just like, no. Or they say yes, and because I remember when I made the announcement that Rockfest was going to be at Techport, I posted a badass photo of me looking at the damn thing and from behind. Like it was this whole thing,
dude. I did that same photo. How come yours got a lot of likes and mine didn't?
It got a lot of likes. It got a lot of likes, but a lot.
Were
of
you
stuff
wearing chanclas?
I was.
Okay,
but a lot of things happened. But then you just kind of like, I just said, you know what? Okay, this isn't the purpose God is going to put, this isn't the road God's going to put me down. There's something else over here. It's kind of like with comedy right now. I'm not really doing it so much. Some stuff happened, and I think God made some things happen really quick for me. Like, what comedian in 2 months gets to open up for Gabriel Iglesias twice? Gets to do some pretty big things twice in 2 months. You have TikTokers and stuff that hate my guts because, comedians that hate my guts. Well, why? He's not a comedian. But I immediately did that, and then after a while, I was just kind of like, oh God, I don't want to do this. I kind of fell back in love with the film part and why I started social media and getting connected with Brian. My manager knew Brian Hart, and then they knew other people. And it was just kind of like, I've been talking to the brother of Robert Rodriguez for such a long time. He followed me and stuff. I'm like, I didn't even know this. And so I feel like I'm back to where I started. So it's going to be nice for the 5th year anniversary to kind of come full circle and be like, I'm back here. And film and entertainment and media and podcasting and sketches is my thing. Like that's the lane I want to stay on.
Sure.
I can't afford to travel, and I see like you say, the bureaucracy of things. I see guys that are in their 50 doing the same jokes for 13 years and they're fighting over $500. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I need to know that I'm going to get paid, have a secure way of getting paid, do my job, leave, and not have to deal with any of that stuff. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to be 40 this year,
Oh, big 40. What are you going to do?
Just sleep. I'm going to sleep in.
I'm going to sleep my whole 40th.
Yeah.
Until I'm 40 in one day.
There's a bunch of people that want to do like
the party or
the
something.
big party and stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, that's a big deal. 40, man.
Yeah. So I'm just like, all right, I made it this far in life, but I'm at that stage where I don't want to be in front of the camera as much anymore. I really want to direct and stuff. I think about when I watch my favorite movies. Oh, it's not because Chris Evans was in that movie. I'm like, oh, Guillermo del Toro directed that movie. That's why I watch it. I watch it based on the storytellers or who's envisioning the story. And that's the way it's always been for me. I have people tell me, oh, you shot that video. I know you did. And it's for a small business. And the fact that they know how I shoot a video or what I do is just like, that's the director part of me that I appreciate. It's like people know my work, and that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm trying to move forward with. hopefully with this whole film thing, it's going to blow up.
Yeah, this kind of goes into one of my questions that I have on the sheet. But how do you know if something is divine? When I say divine, I mean that it's what God wants you to do. It's of God.
That's a really good question. And I think I try to ask myself that a lot of the times, because there are some times where I found my way back to God a little over a year ago. And I used to think that things were a coincidence or just luck, right? Because I'm a true believer in, if you ask God for something, he's going to give it to you. If you ask for patience, which is probably the word, don't pray for patience. He's going to give you patience. I don't know. It's hard to really answer that question in a way. I just know that it doesn't matter who you are and what you believe in, whether it's karma or manifestation or whatever. But I think when you truly put your heart and soul into something that you can believe in, like for me, it's God, he's going to answer those prayers. I feel like there's, what you put onto the universe, you're going to receive. Like with my podcast. These people from Netflix don't even know me. They're producers, and they just put all this money into me and got me all this camera equipment and all this stuff. I feel like that's something divine because they know nothing about me. They know nothing about me other than what they've seen. And they're like, oh, I don't know. There's just something about you. It's because I feel like God put my name in their ears or whatever. It's hard to answer the question when you know something's divine. I think when it's the unexpected things that I'll say it the way I'll say it. There are things that I've always wanted to do in my life that I never thought that I could ever do. And for example, like me talking to Robert Rodriguez's brother the whole time, they didn't even know. I feel like that's divine. That's divine intervention. When I mentioned something, he's like, oh, hey, that's my brother. And then he messages his brother, and then his brother's here, and then boom, 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 and then we're at.
Yeah.
I truly believe that God puts people, you cross paths with people for a reason. And I take that with it, like with you, everybody, you came in my life, but then there was been a few situations where I sold some stuff and you were monetarily, I was just like, and it's funny because that's what I needed at that time, and it's just like everybody comes in your life. But I always try to keep those relationships with those people all the time. And I think with a lot of the people that I've met, I probably have like 20% of those people still in my life, because I choose to, because, we benefit each other in so many ways to help each other grow. But I feel like that's the divine part, is when you cross paths with people that you don't, when you least expect it.
Right. Divine connectivity.
Yeah. Because it's like, why? What do you, somebody like me who's on social media is like, well, what business do you have talking to some guy who does, neighborhood association and all that stuff? You should hate those kind of people. They're not fun. They're old, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I think me being in front of these people, like with Jim and all these people, I'm there to help them stay on track and be relevant and doing the things that they're doing. Like, that's why I'm there. I think I'm there. I'm there to help them. Yeah. But then they reflect on me too, because now people take me serious because, oh, you're working with these people. What is a guy like you? And I get that question all the time, or conversations. People are pissed, Joe. Like, why do you cuss and you do all this crazy stuff? And why do you get to work with those people? I was like, I don't know. God put them there. I didn't ask. I pray every single day for certain things. And if this is the answer to that prayer, then so be it. But I learn a lot from like, I hear how you think and the way you talk and the way you're moving. I'm like, okay. And I learn from you. I learn from every single person I meet. And then it's just like, okay, I need to move this way. I need to do this way. Maybe I should do that. But I'm not giving up on myself as a person. I still keep, I'm still true to myself, but I don't completely change. But it's nice to be able to learn those lessons too.
Right.
So.
Well, on that topic, that goes into a good exercise we do. We ask each guest to share an impactful event that happened each year of your life, positive or negative, whatever. It really is up to your disclosure, what you want to share. But we know through impactful events, those shape your lives, and they're also a tool to be able to connect with people in different generations, and more importantly, to be able to connect through vulnerability, right? Some of those connections are the ones where, like you said, during a time when you needed it, and me being vulnerable in a time where I'm like, what did I need to be? Was it too much? Was it whatever the extent is, right? And Yeah, let's go through that workshop if
Yeah.
you can look through. I've printed it out for you if you need to visually see it.
I got my homework.
And you don't have to. If you care to go through each year, that's fine. If you want to group it up to a couple years or 5-year, 10-year periods, whatever.
Yeah.
But the floor is yours.
Well, I mean, I can group it all up until now, and I think it's the most impactful thing that's happened to me. For context, a lot of my life I spent it going out, drinking, wasting my money on dumb crap, just wasting my life away. COVID happened, right? And so that impacted a lot of people's lives, right? In so many different ways, positive and negative. When I thought I was going to lose my life due to this sickness, it really put a lot of things in perspective for me. I was laying in that bed on that floor thinking that was my final night. Mm-hmm. And I said,
"You got COVID?"
Yeah, I got COVID, or at least I think I did. I don't know, but I mean, I had all the symptoms that they were talking about. There was no room in the hospitals. I had a paramedic come out, check me, and they're just like, this is where you need to be. Stay away from your family. And I wrote letters to my family, and I wrote down everything I wish I could ever do. And I was telling my kids that they shouldn't waste their time in their life and screw everybody around them. Just do what you want to do. And sitting there was just kind of like, man. And I was 34 at the time. And I said, I'm too old. I've wasted my life. And I said, okay, this might be the last time I open my eyes ever again. Mm-hmm. I fell asleep, woke up. Thankfully, I started feeling better. And my daughter came up to me and she was just like, hey, I think we need to, let's make TikToks. Let's just keep something record of you while you're alive. I said, this is the dumbest thing ever. Mm. And going through that process of going on TikTok and kind of starting seeing some certain things that were interesting me, and I said, I could do this. This is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a filmmaker. I always wanted to be a personality. And if I didn't have that moment of almost dying, mm-hmm. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I needed that almost near death experience to really say, it's okay if I'm 34 years old. I'm not too old to start my dream, my path. And because of that moment, I am where I'm at now. Mm-hmm. It has opened up every single door, every single year. It's like, okay, I almost died. Then, 2021, it was like, okay, what am I going to do next? That one moment has been a major impact every single year. There hasn't been anything every year where it's like something bad happened, then I got to motivate. It's just like, I could die this year. Mm-hmm. How am I going to live out my life today? And I live with that moment every single day of my life. Every year that goes by, I think about 2020 when I was laying on that bed and thinking about this could be my last. So every morning I wake up, when I pray, I always tell God, thank you for another day of life, even though this may be my last. Mm-hmm. Because it could be. Right. I could get in a car wreck on the way home, or something can happen, right. And I take every single day like I'm not going to see tomorrow. Mm-hmm. If something negative is happening in my day, I say, you know what? Okay, this is happening for a reason. What path is this going to take me on? For example, something happened the other day, and I said, all right, God, you have something else better planned out. Mm-hmm. Let's see what you got. And I just go. I just live my life. And that's how I see my life every single year. Just that one moment impact. I think about it every year, every day. I can't go back and think about something every year where it's like, okay, this one negative thing happened and it pushed me. That one moment pushed me, because it just tells me I need to appreciate life. Doesn't matter how old you are. I see you're on social media. You hear about this 19-year-old died, this 20-year-old died. It's just like, you could die at any point in time. Right. I've been blessed to be alive for 39 years now. Mm-hmm. What am I going to do with it? And I hate it because I see a lot of kids that I work with. And I think maybe if I were to go through every year, there is always probably one or two people each year where I see, and I'm just like, don't waste your talents. And I find ways to help them. Mm-hmm. I have my camera guy, Jared. I have my VFX artist, Jonathan. I've met them in different times throughout these last 5 years, and I made it a goal of mine to say, whatever negativity is happening in their life, how can I help them achieve their goals and get through every year? And it helps me grow. But that's that one major thing in my life is what's gotten me where I'm at now. So I use that every day I wake up, because I can only imagine what would my life be like. Well, I know what my life would be like. I'd be deteriorating in a coffin somewhere. You know?
That's what your death would be like.
Yeah.
Who knows where your life would be like after? Well, what do you think happens after you die? That's another question I have.
You know, I think we go to purgatory. No. I'm a huge believer in reincarnation to some extent, either genetically or consciously, right? You know, because there's been a lot of moments in my life where I feel like I'm living through the same thing again. I don't know what it is. I feel like, oh, I've been here before, and I'm learning this lesson, and I gotta come and do this thing. But I feel like we meet our maker, and we are given an opportunity to explore the world again and do better and make impacts on other people's lives. You know, I don't feel like we go straight to a burning pit of fire. You know, I think that's for murderers and all the bad people, those kind of people. But I feel like we're given a second opportunity, whether if it's reincarnation or that's just the way it works or whatever. Or, you know, I know people are probably like, well, that's not. I'm not trying to be technical with the Bible and stuff. I just feel like I've lived this life before, and I look back at certain things, and like, for example, with my wife, I tell her all the time, we're not rich because you're greedy. Because sometimes my wife can be a little, you know, with her money. And then now my wife tells me the same thing. She's like, well, we don't have this because you're like this. And it's just like, we connect the dots. We had a conversation the other night, and we're like,
I was gonna say, is your wife calling my wife?
I think we all have lessons to learn in life, and I think we get chances to improve on that. I think I'm at where I'm at now, not because I'm lucky or God's blessing me. I think I've learned a lot. I think maybe I suffered a lot as a child. I did. I suffered through an abusive mom and dad. I went through a bunch of crap. And I think whatever I did in my past life, I experienced. Maybe I was that person in my past life. And then I came back, and now I had to experience it from the perspective of a child. And I grew up, and then it's like that now has led me to get to where I'm at now, you know? And I think there's a lesson there to be learned. And it's funny because when I pray to God about stuff, I'm like, what lesson am I going to learn today? What lesson, you know? And sometimes I'll get these weird like rushes of like feeling like, I did this one thing I shouldn't have done. And I feel like I did it before. I just don't know when I did it. And it's just like, it's that discernment, right? It's just that thing in your ear. Like, you did that. I'm bad with money sometimes, really bad. And it was funny. I saw a video. I've been praying to God. I was like, please give me some kind of wealth, right? Give me something. I want to show you that I'm responsible with money, right? And then last night I was watching a video, and it said, God wants to give you money, but you got to be responsible with your money. And it's like either my algorithm knows me.
The algorithm, man, they're listening.
But maybe there is something, you know. It's like you're gonna come into this, and this, and this, and this. You know, I don't believe every single video I hear, right? A lot of it's but it's just like there are some videos where it's just like, this is gonna happen, and it does, right? But I have to have faith in that. I gotta receive that, and sometimes it doesn't happen the next day. Like I was told I was gonna have a huge blessing today, Monday, but I did. I got to wake up today.
Right.
I got to be here and sit with you. You know, we're gonna talk about whatever we're gonna talk about afterwards. I'm going to get to go home with my family. I'm going to get to enjoy a meal, you know.
Still got your kids.
I still got my kids. And when people think about, you know, you want to be rich. I'm like, I'm rich. I have a family that cares for me. I have friends that enjoy my company. I am able to share how I feel about things and my creativity, and my friends support that. That's more enriching than any dollar amount that you could have. Money can make you happy, but I know people with money who are miserable.
Right. Absolutely.
They've done everything. It's like, what more can you do? I mean, I know what I could do and be at Disney World all day. But it's like now for me, it's just like I want to make money because I want to be able to impact other people's lives. I want to be able to make changes and do something like what you're doing. I want to be able to do that, but it's not time yet.
Right.
You know, whether this is the start of something to get me to that point or whatever it is. I'm just enjoying the ride while I can.
Yeah.
So,
Amen, brother.
yeah.
Did you have multiple siblings or growing up, or
Yeah, I have 4 sisters.
where do you fall?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Oh,
Yeah.
So they're always hidden up.
Yeah, I'm hoping they die first.
Are they funny?
No, not as they can't take me. They trust me.
They've had enough.
They hate my guts. They hate my guts. Well, that's what's funny about my siblings is they're very they have something to prove to the world, and I don't. And so I just they've always everybody in my family has always. I've been over here, so hopefully the mic doesn't. They've always tried to suppress my personality and stuff, like who I am, and you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't do those things, and I'm like, for a while I did that. That's why I was a heavy drinker, because I felt like nobody wanted to be around me or like me for who I was. And then like I said, COVID happened, and then just kind of like I realized that there are people just like me. There are people that grew up just like me, that have sisters just like me, that heard the things I've heard, and it felt nice to be able to find my tribe of people. And then you have a lot of people that are afraid do suppress who they are. And then they come to me and say, hey man, I lived through you, or I've learned to be more vocal. Doesn't matter what it is. It's not about dropping an F-bomb or telling somebody off. It's about, hey, I got up at work today and there was a problem and I shared my concern, and I thank you for being someone who just doesn't care and who needs to get things done, and you made me feel that way, and I was able to do that at my job, and now I got a raise, or they're going to give me my vacation time, or I'm going to get to spend more time with my family. And those are the kind of impacts that, I want to make. And my family, I feel like that was the devil. I think that was a test for me growing up, was suppressing this voice.
Being put in a box.
Yeah. Yeah. I was always told, you have such a great voice, man. You're going to be a leader someday. And I always thought, I'm going to be the CEO of something or whatever. But I found it through social media. So, I was like, they were right.
One of the things I learned along the way, especially with dealing with different types of people, and I will say, I think the pendulum always swings back and forth, and I've learned, when the pendulum swings one way, you got a big mass of folks on one side, and the pendulum swings the other way, you got a big mass. And I think there's always that happy medium that is the real truth, right? Because it's never all the way one way or never all the way one way. I remember growing up, and I remember all kinds of racial slurs, stereotypes. Like, man, it was wild, man. And I saw firsthand how it hurt people. Yeah. Like, and then I was like, man, that's messed up. Right. And it's like, okay, maybe we went way too far that way. Yeah. And then now it's like, whoa, now we can't say anything, or now we're saying things in addition to having to observe of who we're talking. I mean, being very conscientious, and it's like, then we can't say anything. So I think living through those turns, our generation at least has learned to realize who the authentic people who have been, and it tends to be the people who were like maybe using some of those slurs or doing those things, and they stayed, and now it's coming back this way, and it's like, they're the real people telling the truth. And I will say that there's value in character, right? Yeah, who you are when nobody's watching, and I just described that whole like generation, right? And I'm just doing my best to describe it, of how it's passed over time. What I will say that I've learned from seeing those people, or people go through that, and family members and comedians, everything, is it's intent that means more than anything. Yeah. You can throw any random words at me, but it's the intent of what they're trying to do with that word. Yeah. If you're trying to be funny and you're trying to be a joke, it's like, hey man, it's open game, man. Yeah. If you're trying to hurt somebody and you tell them they're good at something, but you're trying to hurt them, Yeah. And there are some wordsmiths who are good at
Oh yeah.
doing that and manipulating and different things. But I think more than anything, what I've learned over the generations and over from different people is intent matters.
Yeah.
And even more so than the actual words you use.
It's funny you say that. A friend of mine was telling me the other day. I was telling him I told you about my wife, and then we're trying to figure out this whole thing and with the rent and all that stuff. And my friend goes, "I'm not worried about you." I was like, "What?" He's like, "I'm not worried about you." He's like, "You always find a way out." And I'm like, "No, I don't." Like, I don't know. He's like, "No, I've heard you talk to people, and he goes, you're not manipulating them. You're just really good with saying what you got to say." And I was just like, "Man, you need to record that because I feel like whatever comes out of my mouth is just mush." He's like, "No, because me, I never, like, I think people too get confused with me because they think, like, if I tell you something bad's going on in my life, whether it's financially or whatever, some people like to think I'm telling them because I want you to help me." I grew up with never being able to express myself or just vent because I can't, if I were to go talk about the thing I want to talk about with my wife's like, "I don't care," or she'll panic. And so I just want to vent to people or whatever. And he's like, "I think you just do that, and then people feel bad." It's like, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. He goes, "Well, or maybe they just relate with you." But I'm like, again, with intent. My intent is always to let people know, like, I'm going through it too, you know? So that way, hopefully somebody takes that. And when they're going through it, they know, one, they can have somebody to talk to, but two, know that everything's always going to turn out okay at the end of the day, you know?
Right.
Especially with the stuff that I do on social media. I mean, obviously, my page is complete satire, right? It's just people take it serious, but it's the internet. You know,
Right.
I always say there are more dumb people on the internet today than there's ever been.
Well, I think for a long time it was a Wild West, and people were at races of grabbing real estate and I say real estate, grabbing reach, right? And the rules were different, and then now they've changed, and now it's like, oh man, I'm learning a lot in this whole, and I'm only using YouTube, right, for this stuff, and it's like, oh, you can use this, that, and
it's crazy because YouTube you could do more. I don't feel like we don't have freedom of speech. I feel like social media has become a place where you can complain and feel valid because you feel a certain way, and there are other people that feel the same way you do. And that's Pandora. What was it, Pandora's box? Yeah, that's Pandora's box. Like, that's what we've opened up with social media. All the whiny crybabies who want to nitpick at every single thing, that have never been told no, that have never been told to sit down and shut up, and saying that's stupid. We've opened that door. I think social media did a good thing by letting us know how many whack jobs are out there on the internet. Now, I'm not saying politically or anything like that. There are just some things where I'm like, how can you sit here and waste your time talking about this? Like, you're miserable. Like, and I think we've been exposed to the misery that now sometimes we feel like, well, I need to complain about something because this is how I get views. This is how I get attention. My buddy Jonathan met somebody, and she was literally telling him, if you're just messing on the internet, you can make money, right? Like, just cause drama and stuff or whatever. And I've been in that space where I've seen people purposely curate drama just for the sake of getting views and create. And I'm like, that's where we're at right now, but that's dying now. We're moving forward with entertainment media, and that's where I'm trying to get ahead of everything. Where I'm like, all right, I need to start making shows and sketches. This is where we're moving. I feel like we're kind of going back to TV days. People are not doing streaming as much anymore. Yeah, they're watching. Even me. There's this lady that used filters from Snapchat, and it's just her, and she puts on a whole drama. It's a guy dating this lady, and they went to high school, and it's this whole thing. And I wait every other day for her to post a new video, more than I'm watching Netflix, and that's just kind of where we're going. But the thing I hate about social media and the way we're moving forward right now too is we're giving the wrong people attention, but that's an algorithm thing. So
yeah, I did a podcast about attention.
Yeah,
I mean, not a podcast. I did a TEDx talk about attention, and I started with saying that the type of attention you get and who you get it from determines where we end up in life. And I talked about how babies, what do they do for attention? They cry for it.
Yeah.
and some adults too.
Yeah, a lot of them. You'd be surprised.
And as you go through your younger years, it's like, hey, mom, look at me. And they do, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
And they're doing the same thing their parents are doing. They're emulating,
Yeah.
right? And that's something adults as well do.
Mm-hmm.
And then as professionals, what do? As elder adults, we share experiences and we relate and we learn.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're able to learn from somebody's experience without doing this mistake that they've done, you're buying 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying time.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's like, you can't buy time. Actually, if you learn from somebody's experience, you're buying time.
Oh yeah.
And in starting this podcast, I remember I've had a few different people come up to me about being a host on another podcast or starting this and starting that. And with the nonprofit, man, since we've had it, we've talked about doing videos for each of the mentors and having that a means for the last 10 years. And I finally just jumped. What really broke the camel's back for me was I can't tell you how many videos I've done at people's funerals of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I thought, I wish I would have just sat with them while they were alive and heard it in their own voice, telling their own story.
Yeah.
And to me, I said, I'm going to reach out to, friends, community elders, right? Who want to and are willing to, because there's some convincing that takes place, especially in the older generation, and even folks my age. Oh, why do you want me on or this or that? And so I'm like, okay, it's okay. I have the invitations there and reaching out, but being able to sit back and there's something beautiful when you can bridge the gap in generations and preserve that experience, that memory of that person, even after they're gone, and it's worth something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why with social media I do all the things I do. But on the side, I've been recording these videos, so for when the day I do die.
That's cool.
So it's like I'm gonna be talking to my kids and doing some fun stuff, and I have these things set up where if I'm in a casket and I'm gonna look that way and be like, "Yeesh," kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna break the fourth wall with it and have fun with it. So they have a memory of, it's not. This is my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want people to remember, to celebrate that all of my accomplishments and everything I've done, negative and positive, or the things that I've been through, and know that I was happy at the end of it all, no matter how I go out, you know, and that's what. And you having these people on, or them saying that they don't want to be on, it sucks that if they don't. If I think sometimes too, what I've learned is sometimes I'll invite people on and they're like, "Why me? Well, why not? Why not? Why not you? Why do you feel like you shouldn't be on?" And they'll tell me, "Well, you know, I'm not as big creator like you." I'm like, that has nothing to do with it. It's what value do you bring to the world? Like, what do you have to say that brings value? You know, okay, I have a huge platform, but something you might say might impact somebody that follows me. Right. You know, and that's always a good thing. And some people just feel like their words aren't worth it. And I'm like, everybody has something to say, and we can all learn from some. I learn from people that are not big creators. Right. I learn from them all the time, but it's not even about being a creator. It's just learning from another human being, how they get through life or what they're doing or creatively. It's like, I could do that. You know, what am I doing? Like you said, you could take 10 years, off, right? Why not? That's why I don't work with other big creators. I refuse to, because a lot of those people are just, their heads are so far up their ass. It's like, they think they've made it. They're celebrities or whatever. Yeah. I'd rather just learn from people that are just still living their life every day, because social media is great, but it's not always what you think it is. It's crazy. It can be hectic and frustrating, and it makes you want to like just jump off a bridge. Yeah. But I mean, it's part of it, but I always try to tell people, just stay grounded as much as possible when doing it. And if you feel like, and I do that by coming on your podcast and going to work with smaller creators or just everyday people. Yeah. So I can continue to live the life I'm living, because I'm not fit for that lavish lifestyle. I'm not. I've been to parties like that and stuff, and I'm just like, I fucking hate it here. I'm out. Yeah. So
Do you have a mentor right now? Maybe they're not labeled, but who's your mentor right now? And who was your mentor growing up?
You know what? I think my mentor is my son, my 22-year-old boy. Just because the way he looks at life, even though chemically imbalanced as he is, he's so patient. He just doesn't care. And I know that's a trait that I have, but the one trait that he doesn't have that I have is that I worry a lot. Like I get into this anxiety mode. He just doesn't. He's just like, oh, I lost $200. Okay. Oh, well, whatever. I'm going to make that back. Like he lives his life with no worries whatsoever. And I'm like, man, I wish I was as carefree in my mind. I'm constantly trying to figure out what I got to do next. What I got to do next. What do I got to do next? He's 22 and he's just like, he's living his life like he's got all the time in the world. He goes to work, he does his thing, and it's whatever. He's just nonchalant, I'm like, I just need to live my life like that. I'm in a constant panic all the time. But I mean, it's because I have a family to raise, but I see him do it, and there's days where I kind of just run by that model of what he does, and I have like the most carefree days. It's so much fun. I'm not worrying about anything. I'm not panicking, but he's been the biggest mentor I've ever had. Then you got to raise a kid, But the one person
you were young when you had him too.
Yeah, but my mentor growing up was my grandmother. I learned not to take life too seriously growing up, and that everything is funny, because when you really look at it from the outside, you're like, oh shit, okay, from death to downfalls to all the positive stuff. She'd always find a way to make it funny, because she thought the best thing for me to do is, even when it was something negative and impactful that would probably emotionally wreck me, she would say at the end of it, why do you, we'll just use 9/11 as an example. It was such a tragic moment,
right?
But now you see all these comedians making jokes of it, and the second plane hit or whatever. And it's just this thing. And it's just like, I never understood what my grandmother was teaching me until I started seeing comedians make fun of 9/11. And I was just like,
making light of the situation. And life is a tragedy, but it's also a comedy, because you think about the way it happened, and you're just like, when you really think about it, like, it's kind of funny. Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, like, and you think, and some people might be like, that's disrespectful. But I mean, you once you start looking at, that's how I look at my life. My life is one big joke. Oh, you get to be with Robert Rodriguez now? That's funny, loser. Or you got to do this, and you think about it, and you just think, I'm like, this is a comedy. I'm waiting for the twists and the turns in the movie and all that stuff. But I mean, she's the reason why I got into comedy. She's the reason why Chancla Academy is something that I honor her with, and the Abuela character. But the Abuela character is also a culmination of everybody in my family. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everything. My cousins asked me the other day, who's this character? And I'm like, it's all based on y'all. Everything.
You gotta send me a picture of your grandma.
Oh, I will. I have one.
I post it, unless you're
I
gonna
look
make a
exactly
big
like
announcement.
it.
Do you?
No, I do. I have a photo of my grandmother in my car, and I also look exactly. Everybody was telling me when I was at my cousin's house the other day, they're like, "You look exactly like Grandpa." I was just like, "Well, he's not as funny as I am, so I got his looks. I got the funny gene." But yeah, I mean, she was my mentor, and then we lost her during COVID, and it sucked because I didn't get a proper goodbye. I watched her funeral on a YouTube live stream. That's how I watched her. And it was just that was, if there was something that impacted me other than me losing my life, that impacted me, because I didn't get to say goodbye. So it was like, that's why I think now with everything that I do, I'm like, how can I impact the people in my life that I know and don't know the way my grandmother did? Because that woman pushed me to a limit that I think nobody else in my family saw. They're like, no, I don't remember that. I was like, yeah, because that was something we shared.
Yeah.
She didn't share it with you because she thought you were a dumbass. But it was just like, I remember my grandmother just specifically told me, she's like, if you ever grow to have a voice in some way, try to use it for good. And that's what I want to do. And it sounds cringy and corny. I want to help my community. I've learned a lot about my community over the years on how some of those things work. So now I know where I need to really prioritize in helping my community. because not everybody in the community wants your help. They just want handouts and they want the easy way out to get to things. And then there are those small groups of people that really want to learn and really understand what they need to do to improve their lives, whether they're 16 or 65. They want to. There are those core groups of people, and those are the people I'm trying to focus on or find. And I've been doing that recently over the last few years with the people that I'm working with. So, but that's what I'm doing. Just taking everything she taught me and applying it to my life, and then whatever my son teaches me, along the way.
Yeah. I think it's a blessing, and the fact your eldest is a boy.
Yeah.
For you to grow up as a young man. And a teen, actually, right? You had him very young, and him to see you also grow up. I think there's something beautiful there, because it reminds me of me and my dad's relationship, right?
Yeah,
and he grows up to be more, even though biologically you're his father, but y'all grow up almost as brothers,
Yeah. It's been interesting. I have another son who just kind of like got up and split and kind of felt like his life was unfair, but we're like, man, we gave you everything. Like, I've the one thing as a father that I've learned was it doesn't matter how much you give your kids sometimes, and it's just life in general. Not
how many
just
kids do you have?
I have 5.
5.
So my second oldest, 19. We had our discussions and stuff, and I figured out in life that it doesn't matter how much you help somebody or please them or whatever it is that you do. You're always gonna do something wrong. There's always gonna be something wrong. We're human. There's always gonna be something wrong in their eyes about you, and that's probably for a short-term mentor my 19-year-old, because now I understand that it doesn't matter what you do in life, right? It's the intent, like you said, right, with words. But my intention was to do this thing, but even when you can do good, you can still be bad to somebody else.
Sure.
And so that's a lesson I've learned now. And it's just like, now when I help somebody, whether it's social media or whatever, and they stop talking to me, or they feel like they didn't get what they needed from me, I just brush it off now. I'm just kind of like, okay, you learn what you learned from me, and that's it. And if you feel like I couldn't help you, I'm not going to explain myself to you, why I'm such a good person, why I helped you. I don't fight it anymore. I'm just like, all right, see you later. When you come crawling back to me for anything, I'm not going to help you because you don't need me. So that's another lesson I've learned in life, But yeah, growing up with my son, sorry I veered off, but we grew up we're like brothers. But I don't know. I see my son as like my best friend, or like the brother I didn't have. I mean, he's my kid, but he was a firstborn, and he's been through a lot, and I've been through a lot. And
well, in some families, the 15 or 17 year gap is brothers and sisters.
Well, he gets life now. That's the cool thing. He'll tell me, he's like, man, you were right about this, or you were right about that.
Yeah.
And I would always tell him, like, I'm not telling you these things because I want to make your life miserable or tell you that this is the way your life's going to go, but these are just some general stuff that happens in life that you're going to experience. Especially when he got his first job, he's like, I'm so sorry for always giving you crap for working all the time and thinking that you never wanted to spend time with us. And I was like, why do you say that? He's like, well, my boss he goes, well, I've been working a lot this past month, and he'll tell me like how his boss tells him to come in, and it's like he's being forced and he's going to lose his job, and there's like all these parameters, and so he's like, did you go through that? I was like, I went through that exactly the way you went through it. He's like, I'm sorry. So I'm like, apology accepted, man.
Yeah.
And so now he's experiencing life, and he's just like, okay, I get it.
There's never been a time where I've related to my dad more than I do now.
Yeah.
Now that I've got kids and that I'm a family man and being married, right?
Yeah.
That dynamic.
Yeah.
My folks have been married for 33 years, and I have a joke. This is my favorite joke I tell all the time. I say, both my parents, my mom ran away when she was 15.
Yeah.
Moved in with my dad, and she was pregnant with me when she was 16. And my parents, they got married in June, and I was born in July. So I grew 9 months worth in 1 month. I mean, it was a miracle. Nobody had ever seen it before. And I always I joke about it, and I tell my whole bit here, and I'm like, because of course they waited till marriage, right?
Yeah.
And June 17th, I was born the next month. So my dad, and it's funny because growing up, I had so many crushes on on older girls. And my neighbor, I used to have I talk about this all the time. I got to stop talking about this on my podcast. But my neighbors at the time when we were kids, I'm like in the 90s, I had this big old crush on my neighbors. They were about 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
5 and 4 years older than me. But it was just, it's too much of a gap. And I remember telling my dad, I went inside and I said, man, Dad, I don't know why you couldn't have had me any younger, because they're way older than me. He goes, well, how much younger do you want me to, if I would have had her 5 years younger, she'd be 10 and I'd be, and he's a jokester too, and I'd be 35.
Man. I feel you on that.
But going back full circle, I mean, never have I felt more close and relatable to my dad than now that I'm a man. And you talked about your relationship with your abuelita, right? Maybe you connected so well with her because you were the oldest.
Yeah.
And you were able to talk to her as an adult, right? At such a young age. And there's something beautiful about having kids young and seeing your generations and getting to get to know I got to know my great grandmother very well. Yeah. Before she passed. And she had Alzheimer's, and I to this day I still believe that she remembered me till the end. Yeah. And bridging that gap in generations.
Yeah. I think it's a beautiful thing when you can make. I think the connection I had with my grandmother wasn't so much to like, I was just like the oldest maybe, or her favorite grandson or whatever. I think just the communication we shared between each other, the humor and stuff. And I think because growing up I was, again, being abused by my mom and my dad and just the stuff. So because I always had to try to find the humor and things. So just we connected in that way. Yeah. And she was like that to the very end. I remember I said a joke at the dinner table one time to my grandmother, and it was like it's a Bush beer joke and a lesbian joke. I go, hey grandma, what's a lesbian's favorite beer? And she's like, what? I go, Bush. And then she starts laughing, but everybody at the table was so upset that I said the joke. But again, the joke is not for everybody. It's between me and her. You know, I'm sitting next to her and she's laughing it up, and then she'll tell me a joke or whatever. And they're like, Joey, you need to have respect. And she'll turn around. She's like, leave him alone. She's like, I enjoy my company with him because he gets it. Like he understands. Like, it's nice to, I mean, it's like if you did something with your kid and y'all share the same interests, right. You're going to, that's y'all's thing. That's y'all's thing. And that was my and my grandma's thing. And I would always get shitted on because I was the jokester and the comedian, and you can't be funny and you got to be respectful and you can't talk like that. And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't listen to any of you losers, because look where I'm at now. Now I'm the famous cousin, or, you know, oh, that's my cousin. That's my brother. I wasn't your brother 5 years ago when I was doing the same thing without the camera in front of my face. So the fact that it took 245,000 other people to like me for you to like me, and you're my own blood, tells me everything I need to know about you as a person. So. Unconditional love. It's probably one of the hardest things on this planet. What is unconditional love to you? Me coming into my house and scratching my ass, sniffing my fingers in front of my wife, and then being able to give her a kiss on the forehead and her not bat an eye. Unconditional love. All right. So she loves you unconditionally. Yeah. That's why my wife, when she tells me I'm going to cheat on her, I tell her, you don't understand the amount of work I've invested into this relationship. That, you were so young. Yeah. How old were you? 15. I was 14 going on 15, and it was her 13 going on 14, and then we got pregnant around before I turned 16, and so yeah, around that time. And that's awesome. I mean, I say it's awesome. It was very hard, but the fact that y'all stuck it out. Yeah, I mean, I think people think we were just young and had a kid, but we were going through a huge dilemma. Her and I both had parents, again, that were alcoholics, and they told us that they blamed us for the reason why they're going through the stuff they're going through. They're like, you don't understand how hard it is. And we, both of us said, how old were your parents? Oh, they were, I mean, I was 15. Or when they had us? No, like at the time. Oh, God, maybe like early 30s, not even. They were. Yeah, so they were young when they had y'all too. So we decided to have kids ourselves at a young age. We had Dominic. I got a job. I was making that, back then rent was $300 a month. Good days. And I worked my ass off. It was hard, but I made that choice to have a kid. And it was up to me whether I was going to all of a sudden be miserable because I had a kid. That just doesn't happen. So I had to make decisions in my life. And I said, okay, well, what did they do? So as I was growing up, I said, none of this none of this is my kid's fault. It's all based on the choices I make, and it's on what I want to be able to provide for my kid. Am I lazy? Do I want to go to work? No, I'm not lazy. I want to work. So I worked. I had lazy parents. They didn't want to work. They felt they were victims to their own decisions that they made. So that, and they felt like everybody owed them something. And so they would blame us because if they didn't have us, they wouldn't be living this life. And I'm like, I mean, for a while I was an alcoholic, but I wasn't an alcoholic because of my kids. I realized as an adult, I was going through depression, and I was living just all the shit I went through. And that's why I drank. And all those poor decisions I made reflected on my family. So if it was anybody's fault why I was living that life, it was because it was my fault. And I would do that. And my mom and her mom hate our guts because they come around, they try to give advice to us about, and we're like, no, you're the last person to be giving advice. But they say this and they're like, well, you got lucky. No, we weren't lucky. We were just really good parents. We made the decision to sacrifice things in our life. We knew that we weren't going to be able to go to the clubs and go to the bars and do X, Y, and Z. We knew what we got ourselves into. It's just you guys lacked the responsibility. Oh, well, you don't know how I grew up. You were an alcoholic and you beat me. Am I an alcoholic and beating my kids? No. I could easily make all the bad decisions and just blame you. But I don't, because I'm an adult. I need to break that cycle. And I need to take accountability for my actions, because all the decisions we make in our life are based on what we do, on our actions. So if I blow my money, the last $40 I have, and I'm like, I don't have gas money, well, that's my fault. I should have put it for gas.
Yeah.
I can't blame my son or my car or
Sense of accountability.
Yeah. Just take accountability. That's it. And your life will be that much easier, I now look back and be like, man, now I know why my mom beat my ass for that. Or I know why I got in trouble. I don't sit there and be like, my parents were abusive to me, but I can't blame them for the rest of my life.
Right.
It already happened. Just move on.
Yeah, move on.
Just don't abuse your kid, or whatever.
Learn from it.
And
Save yourself 10 years.
Yeah. And now my misery and my abuse is my comedy, and people laugh. So it's just like,
and your therapy.
It pays me.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that's just where I'm at now. So it's like, it's nice.
Yeah, I unconditional love. That's a topic I haven't put on there, but man, that's the hardest thing to do.
It is.
What is unconditional love? I mean, I know you described it, but to me, it's like no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter what they do to you or they do to somebody else, that's unconditional love.
Yeah. Well,
and it's like, man, that's tough. Like that's hard. And it's like, that's how you love like Jesus loved, right?
Yeah.
And that's why everybody uses that, love like Jesus. What would Jesus do? And I joke with my wife, just like, those direct lines of communication when you're at the big table, and she's like, "Love you," and I'm like, conditionally, right? and then my dad too, because you're a product of your environment, and you're raised a certain way, and you've got the demons you're battling to this day, and what I love about my dad the most is he's able to see it, and he jokes about it, And for many years he held it up, right? And it was like, and especially when I call him out about it, but he'll double he'll double down with me about it, and that's how I know he's slowly healing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's getting past it, and if you see his humor, and you see his
I was talking about
you know him.
I was just like, I like this guy. Like these are the kind of people I grew up with, like that I want to be around.
Yeah. And one of the things, this is another kind of personal story, and I'll throw my sister under the bus for this, since we're throwing our sisters under the bus. We used to play Pop Warner football, and one of our things, and I do this with my girls too, is like, it doesn't matter who you're around, and it doesn't matter who's there. When you say I love you, you say it back. And when I'm a 33-year-old man going up there kissing my dad, right? Still.
Yeah.
And same with my kids, right? And my sister at the time, she was with her little friends and cheerleading or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I always give her a hard time about this. But my dad's like, come give me a kiss. And she goes, no, my friends are here.
Yeah.
And oh man, he was so pissed about it, right? And he calls me, right? Like, come give me a kiss. And so I was like, big old, kissed him on the lips. Then all right, and I was like, all right, yeah, definitely. And we'll never let it live. Let my sister live that down. But those direct lines, right? Like those are the things. Like no matter what, right? Unconditionally, and I give him a hard time because he'd get pissed and he'd hang up on me and he wouldn't say I love you back. All right, love you. He just hung up.
Yeah.
So I was walking home from high school or something after football practice and he hung up on me. And man, I let him have it when we got home. I was like, oh, como que you kissed me? I kissed you in front of all those little cheerleaders when your daughter wouldn't kiss you. And you can't tell me I love you back on over the phone. Yeah. You hang up because you're mad because I walked over, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's what with my sisters, and this is the honest truth. The only people I have ever said I love you to is my wife and my kids. Maybe a couple of my friends, but nobody in my immediate family other than my grandmother. My sisters would always be, I love you, brother. Okay. I don't ever tell them I love you back. Mm-hmm. It's always, okay. And they get mad because they're like, why don't you love me back? But that's me going through all the conditioning I went through them where I didn't feel like love. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. And I remember one time we were at a Christmas party and they're like, I love you. And then I go, I love, right? And I could see my sisters were like, I love that we're getting to go home already. Let's go. And I walked out. And for Christmas, only one time, I was like, love you too. And I walked out and they made a whole they
party
called my wife and they were crying. We said it. She's like, he said, love ya. That doesn't mean anything to Joe. It's what he tells the fucking homeless people on the side of the street. Like, but it's crazy because with me, I just you have to earn my love more than you'd have to earn my respect, because it's hard for me to love somebody in return. Mm-hmm. It's really hard. Jared and Jonathan, who are like I said, they're like my sons, my new boys. You know, I've told them I love them. I go, I love you, man. Because I care for them. I genuinely care. We share experiences with each other. We talk every day on the phone. Like we have a legit relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Like father-son relationship. Jonathan's my little gay son and Jared's my little retard. And but I love them like my kids. Yeah. And so, you know, I'll let them know. But it's really hard. People are like, who do you love the most? I'm like, I don't have anybody I love the most. Like, I can't tell you. I don't have a certain amount of love for a specific person. I love everybody equally. For those I do express that to. But, you know, if there's people I like, I'll be like, I like you. That's it. I like you too.
That's
I love you, Joe. I like you too. Like, you know, respect wise though too, I just, God, it's so hard to, like you were saying, it's hard to earn. Unconditional love is hard. I think for me, it wasn't so much I wanted my family to love me unconditionally. I just wanted them to respect the decisions I made in my life as much as I respected their decisions. You know, it's just like, you get to do whatever you want. I don't judge you or criticize what you're doing. I expect the same thing. In the same way, I honor whatever it is that you're doing. Oh, your sister's such a mess. She's out there getting drunk. Yeah, but she's really good at being a mess and being drunk. Let her be. You know, I accepted my sister. I think that's the word I'm looking for, was acceptance. I wanted to be accepted for who I was as a human being. That's what I wanted for my family. I didn't want them to love me or respect me. It was just I wanted to say it's okay to be weird, you know? And I never got that until now, where people are like, man.
You didn't get it when you needed it.
Yeah.
And the timing of that was important to you.
But now I understand why. Because I think if I did get that love and attention or that acceptance, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. Because now it's
part of the bigger picture.
Yeah,
you needed
it was all bottled up, and then it's just like I just was able to be myself to a bunch of people, and I didn't care. And I get love from strangers every single day, and some hate mail, a lot of hate mail. I hate you. It's okay. I want you to die. My wife tells me that every day. Yeah. You should kill yourself. My daughter says that to me every day. You know, but yeah, I mean, I think unconditional love is the hardest thing, but you know when you got it, you know, with the right people. Mm-hmm. When people tell me, they're like, you don't love your wife, look at the way you talk to her. I was like, me and my wife talk like that to each other all the time. They're like, why would y'all disrespect each other? I was like, because that's true love. I can say how I feel to her. If I wake up in the morning and I look at her, I'm like, oh, fuck, you're still alive. You know, and I'll do something and she's like, you're just really bad at this. Please don't fix the doorknob. You're not that much of a man. But it's like we say
it's just love language.
Yeah, it's our love language. But it's just like, even if it wasn't our love language, I appreciate her being honest with me. Mm-hmm. That's the component to it. It's like we're honest with each other and how we feel in that moment, you know?
It's also a way where, in a form of an insult, and yet she still chooses to accept you. It's packaged in...
Yeah, she knows I'm not the best at that thing, and she'll make fun of me for it, but she loves me either way, and that's where it goes, becomes unconditional love, you know? Mm-hmm. I've been through a lot of shit, especially online with, you know, people trying to cancel me and stuff, and she's still there, like no matter what. My wife drives me up the wall. There are times where I wish I could drop kick her, and I know I can't do that legally. But it's
it doesn't fit physics. Not with these chanclas on.
Yeah. We found out there was one time. After we had my last daughter, they told her you can't have any more babies or you'll die. Right? They could kill you. I go, look, I may not be able to stab you with a knife, but I'll knock you up. And ain't nobody gonna know that's how I killed you. You know, choose the wife or the baby. I'm gonna choose the baby, and ain't nobody gonna know. You know, that's the way I can take you out. Yeah. But it's stuff like that. That's why I love her so much, because you know, we both hate each other's guts, but there's more love there than the hate, and it's beautiful. I don't want to start over with anybody else. No. I told her, I go, if you were to die before me, or if you were to leave me, which I highly doubt that'll ever happen, but if you were to die before me, just know that I would never date anybody else. Not because, my wife. I've enjoyed my freedom. I feel like I've re-earned that freedom, because in the beginning it was like, where are you going? Let me check your phone and all that stuff. And, you know, now my wife knows that I'm just such a loser that nobody wants me and all that stuff. She's like, I thought, no. But yeah, I wouldn't start over. I wouldn't have it. If I were to die and God said, do you want to relive that life with that woman? Yeah. Yeah, because I think I would never find that anywhere else. Yeah. I will go through the abuse all over again in my life as a kid. Take it even worse if I have to in the next lifetime. Mm-hmm. If it means I know I'm going to get to be with her again. That's how much I love her. And people don't get that. Yeah. They're like, oh, she's so mean to you. I was just like, yeah, but that's just the way she is. I go, you ever been trapped in a room with somebody you don't like? You know, after a while, you start to learn to like each other, right? Because you got to find common ground. That's just the way it is. You know, I hate dogs, but my wife wants to sell the dogs we have now that I hate so much. I'm like, no, don't get rid of them. Yeah. But I hate them. But it's just one of those things. So, yeah, no, I don't see myself with them.
How many years? You been married?
26.
26 years.
We've been with each other for 26 years. Probably married for like 16 years. But I say married because it's same. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a long time.
If you were to die today, who's the one person you would call?
God, my grandma. If she was alive. If she was alive, I'd call her. There's nobody else I would call. You would probably, why not your wife? Yeah.
Well,
my wife would be like, well, before you die, can you throw out the trash? No, I mean, living today, I think if there was anybody I'd call, it'd probably be my grandfather, just because I think he would need it the most. That man's been through a lot, and people haven't seen a lot of the stuff I've seen him go through, you know, emotionally and mentally. They've had this picture of my grandfather now because, you know, we found out some stuff later on that my grandmother and my grandfather were never really married. They weren't dating. They were just like roommates, and it's whatever. You know, I can't judge their lifestyle, but I think he would need it the most, because I think if I were to go and he was still around, it would kill him. Just because I've been through so much with him, you know, and I would just want to let him know, like, tell him how proud I am of him for being the best father he could to me and raising me, and knowing that every decision I made in my life was based off of the stuff that he taught me. And then I could go peacefully. I know everybody else will be okay, you know, because I'll have my own message for them, but I'd call my grandfather because he needs it. Yeah. He's alone right now. He's out there traveling and having fun, but he's lonely.
He's hurting.
He's hurting. I know he is. He doesn't want to get the family together because it hurts him. My grandmother's not there anymore. So he doesn't know what to do with himself. So I think that's who I would call, or I know I'd call him. So
Yeah. I know you've set aside some other videos and stuff, but and you've practiced this. I don't know if there's something you want to share or not, but if you could tell your kids one last thing, what would you tell them?
stop being so fucking annoying. No, you know what? I do have a last thing that I do have in my video for my kids that I can share, or that I will share, and that's just stay true to yourself and don't let anybody tell you. Don't let anybody put you in a box. Essentially, what it's a whole paragraph, but it's summing it up. It's just be you.
Yeah.
Just live your life as you. Don't let anybody change you whatsoever. And I do say in there, mom didn't change me and I didn't change mom. And that's why you have really cool parents, you know? And I'd want them to live their life to be happy. Just to know that. Because I feel like, other than that, I feel like when they come to me, even now, I would just tell them, just be you. Just do you. Don't let anybody change that. And you'll be much happier in your life instead of conforming to what everybody thinks you should be. And I think that's why my son Dominic lives the way the life he lives. He's a guy that just doesn't care. And he knows that if money comes, he doesn't need to be. He sees me and my wife's relationship. He's like, I don't want to get married. So, you know, and the last part of that is just learn from the way other people live their lives. Like you said, shave 10 years off, you know? So just do that. Just be you. That's all I want them to know. And they think they'll be okay. Because I don't have any big dramatic monologue for them other than just be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you can do.
What, you talked about a year ago or so, you recently started coming back into your faith. What does your faith journey look like?
It's just me having conversations with God every day, just kind of taking it step by step and just figuring out where he wants me to go. Somebody was like, you should go to a church and do this and do that. And when you look back at all the stories you read in the Bible, all those men were on journeys on their own. They weren't going to church. They weren't going to temples. They would go on the hillside somewhere and pray to God and, you know, figure out life and just living their lives. And that's what my journey is right now. It's taking it day by day with God by myself. I feel like everybody wants to tell you how to have faith and how to be religious and how to pray and how to speak to God. And it's like, the only person who needs to tell me that is him. And whatever my conversation I have with him, we'll figure it out. And I've been doing that for the last, 3 years. Best decision of my life ever. I even prayed to God. I said, hey, if this is, do I need to go to a church? I tell them, like, you put it in my heart. Show me what I need to do. And this solo journey is what he has me on. It's the best thing ever. You know, trust me, being alone and sitting in your thoughts and talking to God, you learn way more about yourself than you would sitting in a group of people and doing therapy or counseling.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we hold back when we're in front of people.
It's so hard to be alone now.
Yeah.
But it's also so easy.
You know what? I find so much peace being alone. People think that, like, if I get invited somewhere or whatever, or I do go to these gigs and then I leave after an hour, I enjoy my peace. I especially enjoy my peace with God and being able to just think and talk to him. I sit in my car on my way over here. I was having a conversation with God. Hey, what do I do? How do I figure this out? You know, I'll have my gospel music on and I'm just calm, just taking my life in and moving slow. That's the thing I've learned about being alone too with God is now I take it in more than I used to. I used to just kind of neglect everything around me. I'm driving, I look at that tree, I look at that bird and think like, man, we live this guy created all this stuff.
Yeah.
We live in a beautiful world, even to the car, to the kids. And working at Disney, people watching was always a thing. And you see all these different perspectives of lives and these conversations. And then you realize how small your problem is. Because you're you're not the only one. And then you add God to that and how to kind of help him guide you through your life. And you're like, you know what? When I have a problem and I pray, I don't pray like I'm the only person having this problem in the world. If I'm going through something financially, say, hey, God, help me, blah, 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 whatever. And then I say, hey, if there's anybody out in the world, bless them too if they need it. You know, whatever it is I'm praying, I try to do my best to spread that energy out to the people around me. You know, hey, Lord, bless all of my friends around me, everybody I come in contact with, you know, that I touch or interact with, whatever blessings you give me, put that upon them too. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, since I've been praying like that, my camera guy, Jared, got huge opportunities, went on tour, he's making money now.
That's awesome.
Jonathan is doing amazing things, doing more visual effects, makeup and stuff like that. He'll tell me, he's like, I don't think God likes me. I was like, trust me, God don't hate you, buddy. Because he's been blessing you. I go, doesn't matter what your sexual preferences or whatever, doesn't matter. Just pray to God. Just do. And he tells me, I prayed the other day. And I started my podcast, and now I have all these makeup artists interested in doing my podcast. I'm like, God blessed you right there, buddy.
Yeah.
He gave you exactly what you needed. Don't ask for more. Don't expect more. Just take what he gives you. But being alone, man, is really like, the solo journey's been, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's beautiful that you're able to harness it.
Yeah.
It's wild if it grows out of control and harnesses you, you know? It's, I think that's why I said it's so hard to be alone, like, and disconnected from everything and everyone. But then it's also so easy to slip into that void where you can't get out, and doesn't matter what anybody does, they can't get in, you know?
Yeah. I think I thought for a long time too, I thought I would get to that point, but I've just learned to kind of control that urge to really tune everybody out. But what I see it as, me being alone, it's like, I'm gonna choose who gets to be a part of my life. Like, everybody is in this void with me, right? They get to be a part of that void, but I mean, there's just some that you have to keep out. I don't think we're all. I don't ever feel like truly alone, because I know what I have in my life or who I have in my life. I think I just see it as peace, but I don't let it overtake me. Like, I don't want to be around nobody. Period.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. I just tell God to remove me from certain situations when I don't need to be there. If I'm at a party or something, you know, I always tell God, just
like a Diddy party.
Yeah,
like,
Diddy party.
Like, get me out.
Well,
of there.
I mean, I've always wanted to experience a Diddy party. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's not that I want to be alone. Sometimes I do. I think I've just been alone all my life, though. I've felt alone all my life from everybody around me. Now I have people who want to be around me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to deal with it.
Right.
So I run away. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. And then I don't know how to, like, communicate with people sometimes when I'm around them.
You know, that, right? I don't know how to put that in words, but that.
Yeah.
I've reached quite a bit, and honestly, through the nonprofit, it's thrown me out of my comfort zone and bringing folks in, right, to share. Not only, you know, I Jordan Peterson says it well. Anything good or great has to take sacrifice, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And in starting our organization, Building a Purpose, the original founders, you know, my wife and I, but I'm also including our mentors, we're all our close friends and family, right? You know, my sister, my mom, my dad, you know, us all doing all the legwork to get people, and then almost everybody on my wedding court, right? Like all my friends we went to college with, all my high school friends, we all got together and I'm like, hey, if you want to meet somebody, this is my network, right?
Yeah.
And I exhausted it. And I know I did. And I know some of my friends who were like, it's just asking me to go meet with this student at South San. It's like, he's only calling me because he wants something for the nonprofit.
Yeah.
And, you know, part of that, it sucks. You know, it's like you said, I'm calling somebody because I'm asking for something. But then I'm like, when people get to the top, it's hard to bring others up, right? And then it's like, well, am I doing the right thing? I think I am.
No,
And-
I think you are. I don't mean to cut you
No,
off because
go ahead.
that's one of my biggest pet peeves about people is these are the same people. And I don't know these people, but I've dealt with people like that where they complain so much about making impact and changing things and doing whatever and all, but they don't want to contribute anything. And I commend you because I'm that kind of person. If I feel like I could call you for something, I'm going to call you because I feel like I tell people, if I call you for something because I want you to mentor this person or whatever, you should appreciate the fact that I'm reaching out to you because I think you could help this person. This person needs help. I hate when people feel like, oh, they're calling me for something. Well, it's the same. You call me when you need something, right? I hate that. I really hate that. Just to be just blunt, I hate that shit. That's why when I tell you, like, let me help you, because I want to. Because we can both benefit from it, right?
Yeah.
But I want to help you because I don't ever want to be that person you call that's just like, well, Jesus, I don't know, whatever. No, let me help you. Like that's how things move forward in life. Like that's how things work. That's how your organization is going to come up. They see it because they're probably already like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I feel like to be fair, it's like this is every year thing, right? We get a new batch of kids every year. It's like shit, man. This motherfucker's still calling me every year, and we exhaust our network, and I think it's so hard to gauge that. And so how you described, right, of in your scenario, I don't know how to describe it in words, but as you're going up, and then as the organization's growing, and it's focused on a solid mission, but the sense of repetition, because repetition builds fatigue, even in relationships. And in this, like I said, it's an every year thing. They're going over and over and over. That's how you get better at stand-up comedy, saying the same thing over and over and over, but it feels unauthentic. Then it becomes a branding on you as an unauthentic person. What do you think of politicians? Slimy, unauthentic, script reading. I mean, all those things. But it's like, well, it's probably a good idea to befriend a politician because at least they'll know your voice and know that you're sincere and you're honest. And then, it's no wonder why a lot of politicians a lot of comedians go and jump in to become a politician and do well, right? Convincing so many people to support them because, well, they're learning a speech by memory and knowing the cause and and they're able to, and I think that's, the same way you described being in stand-up comedy, it seems a little unauthentic because scripted maybe, right? Because you've got to remember, you've got to fine-tune, you're adjusting this and that.
After a while you don't feel like it's authentic anymore.
Authentic, right? And following that, it's is that the branding you want to create for yourself? And if it is, even if it's not, is it worth it for the mission?
Yeah. And for me, that's why I don't do stand-up, because of I always have this sudden urge to do something new. Like right now, I'm going through my horror phase or whatever. In a year, I'll probably be like, I'm going to do something else now. And I like the ability to be able to, for people not to know what I'm going to do next.
Unpredictability.
But I'm also trying to figure out, after 5 years, I still don't know what my brand is. I don't, for me now, I used to have this big old speech about what it was. And now it's just a collective of people and traumas that we went through that just make us what we are as people today. That's it. I used to have this whole fucking thing about it, and now I'm just like, it's never been that. It's just it's a relatable thing, that we all been through together, and that's okay. That could be the entire mission, But now I have to be smarter about it. But like when you're talking about as we're coming up, I've been coming up. The name. This is why I tell people all the time. Chancla Academy is blowing up. Not me. Chancla Academy. The purpose of it. That's the thing. I'm down here because I want to be down here. I still want to help. I don't want my ego to take over and now I'm this big brand, blah, 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 whatever. No, I keep myself here. Chancla Academy's here. That's why when I tell people to introduce me on stage, I am introduced as Chancla Academy, because then they find the page. Yeah, I'm the face right now, but because I have to be. And that elevates the name more. But as the Joe Coronado, the human being, that's where I'm at. You can call me and I will help, because I'm not like, well, my brand is such a... No, Chancla Academy is a total separate entity from me. That's where I kind of got smart with it, because I said, how do I keep myself leveled? Right. And so using that as a stage name and just always pushing Chancla Academy to whatever it's going to be. That's what I do. I hate, that's why I don't tell people to use my name.
What's your purpose in life?
To die. You know, I've asked myself that every single day. What's my purpose? What's my purpose? And whether it's my purpose or not, what I'm discovering is I have the ability to help people understand that achieving their goals or dreams is achievable. And I've done that. And I feel like my purpose in life right now is to continue to do that with people that want it. And I'm going to continue to do that with my wife, my kids, friends, family, people I don't know. My goal is to make them feel like they can do it. You know, Brian Hart, he's famous writer, always wanted to write a horror movie. I made him feel like he can write a horror movie. That's amazing. I'm a nobody in that world, but he feels like he can write this horror movie because we just share that idea, and he feels like because of me, he got that spark again. That's my purpose. Is to let people. That's a dream of his.
Yeah.
That's a goal of his, and he's helping me, but he's living his dream, doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like cool. You know, he told me about how much he wanted to write a horror film, but now he has someone like me who loves horror just as much as him, and we click. And I have my ideas creatively and how we should see things. And yeah, it's just, and there you go. If I can make him feel that way, hell yeah. I made Gabriel Iglesias feel a certain way, made Robert Rodriguez feel a certain way, made all these people, like everybody feels a certain way. Cool. Then that's my purpose, is to let people know, no matter how big or small you are. Like Beto Altamediano tells me all the time, that guy's got money, he's good. He's like, you're a persistent little fucker, dude. Like, you're just going and going. I was like, I have to. Yeah. I have goals and dreams I want to achieve too, you know? And I'm going to bother you until you tell me to stop. And until you don't tell me to stop, then you're screwed. I'm going to call you. Techport thinks they're out of my view. They're not. I'm still trying to figure out a way to do something there. And I know I'm going to do something there.
Right.
But yeah, man, just helping people achieve their goals, get them where they need to be. That's all I've done. That's all I've ever, I feel good when I do it. And I don't ever post about it or anything. So like, I want to help you. I don't want to help you because I feel bad for you. I want to help you because I know you have such a good thing going that it's achievable, because I've seen it and I've done it. And I don't like when people sit there and feel like, it's like, no, dude, it's a lot easier than you think. Like, let me help you. And then after a few months, you want to do it yourself, you can. You know, I want to be able to give people the tools to be able to say, oh, damn, I could have been doing this 4 months ago. That's the way it always is with everybody. That's it? Yeah, bro, that's it. That's it. I have stubborn people too in my life. They don't ever listen to my advice, and they go back to low views or whatever it is they're doing. I was just like, go back to what I told you to do. And they do it. They're like, oh yeah, you're right. You know,
Yeah.
but that's my purpose. That's why I'm so eager to help. I just like helping people.
Right.
Yeah. That's my thing. That's my goal, my purpose.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
a good one. I
Yeah.
mean, good answer. I've never heard that before. What?
He's lying.
Scratch that last statement. Yeah. Edit. No, I'm just kidding. What advice was given to you that, or maybe not even advice, maybe you saw something a certain way as a kid, and now you're like, as an adult, it wasn't quite the way you thought it was?
Just life in general. Everything is subjective in life. Everything. Not everybody's going to like that one thing. Not everybody's going to accept the one thing or whatever. I think once I started looking at life in a subjective point, from a subjective point of view, because I was told growing up, if you behave this way, nobody's going to like you. If you say jokes like that, people are going to be offended by you. And that's true. But nobody ever told me that there are people that like that stuff. Nobody ever told me that, you know, whatever. So, just life being subjective. I think if people live their life that way, they'll live a much easier life. But now that I know that as an adult, it's like, man, I wasted like 10 years of my life thinking that I had to behave a certain way or do something a certain way, have that 9 to 5 and be miserable and all that stuff. If I would have known what I know now, I think I would be a different person, but I think I needed to go through that. But life is subjective.
Well, there's seasons for everything, for sure.
Yeah. Some people enjoy life, some people don't, some people whatever. But I love the life that I live now. But I see it from that perspective.
Is there a quote you live by?
Try not to die. No, I was talking about the check your BMI. Oh God, I came up with the quote for Chancla Academy, and I do live by that. And it's not something I post out all the time, but all of the life lessons that make us who we are today, everything you've ever learned from being a kid to now, right? And I think that's probably like a general term everybody knows. You learn from life, but like I don't mean just like the negative things and the positive things. It's all the little interactions you had with your cousin, your grandma, your grandpa, something you did at school, maybe something a choice or a decision you made on your own. Just all those little things from, like for me, I believe in the butterfly effect. So like, man, if I didn't put on the peanut butter first and then the jelly, what if I stubbed my toe when I walked out of here? Right? So like there's always a lesson to something, right?
Right.
And I just look at every little thing of what can I learn from that? Like the peanut butter and the jelly thing. People are like, oh, you put the peanut butter first, then the jelly, or the jelly. I'm like, sometimes it's okay to put the peanut butter first. Maybe you're a peanut butter guy, peanut butter first guy. And that's just how your life is.
Yeah.
Live it that way. Don't let anybody tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And it's just dumb little things like that where now
But it does go off the rails sometimes. It's
yeah.
Like, is a peanut butter jelly sandwich a peanut butter jelly sandwich without the peanut butter jelly?
Well, we're not going down rabbit holes. All right, I got some conspiracy theories because there's some peanut butter that's not peanut butter. It's just cream, brown cream. No, but I think, again, life is subjective. Everybody has different things, the way they perceive life, whether they learn a lesson from this or that. But I think, too, just like I said, going on my journey with God, I've just moved slowly. So now it's just like I appreciate all the little things that I do, even as a person. I don't like mayonnaise. I love Miracle Whip. Okay. It's a goofy, stupid thing to talk about, but it's just like I appreciate every little thing about me now. How I comb my hair, how I brush my teeth, how I look, how I stand. It's just all these little things you start to notice, and you're just like, I'm a weirdo. I don't like it. And I think, people should look at that too. I learned from myself. I don't have the perfect body, and I stand in front of the mirror and just, okay. Now I don't shame the person next to me that's a little abnormal looking with their body.
Yeah.
I got nose hairs sometimes, and I forget to shave. And I see a guy who has nose hairs. Well, maybe he wants them to grow. Maybe he just doesn't have the time. He's just living life, or maybe he just doesn't care. Look at my nose hairs. And I'm like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about people looking at his nose hairs. He has such a confidence when he walks out the door with that. Right. And then you talk about like it not like, going off the rails. But I think sometimes you have to get off the tracks a little bit to really understand how life works around you. You need chaos, because that can also bring you in and say, oh, okay, I do got to reel it in.
Right.
Or sometimes chaos can be good. And trust me, a lot of my chaos is what's gotten me where I'm at now. People wanted me to stay on track. And because I've jumped the tracks, I've gotten to where I'm at.
It's got to be sacrifice.
Yeah.
Vulnerability helps you grow as well.
Yeah. I don't like being vulnerable on the internet anymore. People are mean.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I used to be vulnerable on the internet and talk about my life. That's when I started to realize too, I was like, everybody has the same problem. Everybody has the same problem.
Right.
I'm like, we're either financially screwed, nobody loves us, or we want acceptance. Those are like the three major things.
I think we talked about all that today.
Yeah, we have been. And that's just what it is.
Right.
Those three things. Everybody wants that.
Those are so true.
Yeah.
Favorite movie of all time?
Oh my God. No,
dun.
Dawn of the Dead. George A. Romero, Dawn of the Dead. Yeah. No, Day of the Dead. I'm sorry. Day of the Dead. I just love zombie movies. But Day of the Dead, I love that movie so much because now as an adult and the way I'm living my life, I look back at it and they're all, those zombies are in the mall and they still have a little piece of their memory. They're trying to be human again, but they're moving so slow. They're moving slow. And they attack the living. And these people that are living are just creating chaos and just not doing things right. And they're just kind of messing up the world, you know, that they're in. They're not appreciating it. They're just, you see these zombies moving slow and just looking at things and trying to grasp onto a little bit of the life that they have. They're appreciating that thing. Now you can see it in their eyes. They're trying to remember their lives. And that's how I live my life, like a zombie. Just slow, look at things, appreciate it.
Trying to become human again.
Trying to become human again. We're trying to stay human as possible. And it's up to me whether I want to break that mold and say, can I help remove people from the chaos that they're in? Sometimes it's better to be a zombie than it is to be a human. Sometimes you just need that. You just need it. And that's why I love Dawn of the Dead. George Romero had stories to tell, and for me it wasn't a zombie movie. It was about how humanity just can ruin the world and how chaotic we can be when we're alive. But when we're dead, and you just helpless zombies walking around, they don't know any better. They eat you, sure, but they're not destroying the world. They're not creating chaos. They're not doing anything. They're just roaming, just in their thoughts. So, be a zombie.
It's deep.
Yeah.
Most number one favorite movies have to be deep, probably.
Yeah, I think when you look at them later, you know, you're just kind of like, oh, that makes sense now. That makes a lot of sense. Guillermo del Toro and George Romero are some of my favorite directors. I love Robert Rodriguez as well. He's a good director.
Dude, I love Desperado, man.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm just here looking for a man who calls himself Bucho. That was all.
It's great, but those guys are storytellers, man, and that's all I've ever wanted to do is to tell a story.
Well, I mean, growing up watching their movies for sure.
Oh
that was all childhood.
Yeah. So I tell people all the time, just tell your story, man.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your product you're selling. Just tell your story. How is that going to impact the people around you? And there you go. You got your set, you know?
Yeah.
And people still, it's hard for them to grasp that, but, you know, they will, hopefully, sometime.
Favorite song of all time?
Oh, man. It's My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance, really?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's Black Parade is my favorite song.
I just heard it this morning.
Yeah. Black Parade is my favorite song. When I die, I hope that there is a big parade, not in death, but like that's how I want people to celebrate my life, because that song is about a kid with cancer who dies, and you know his dad tells him, like, when you die, don't be afraid. There's gonna be a big celebration for you, and that's what I want in real life. Is I want people to celebrate my life, and that we're all gonna carry on. That's like the main part of the song, and we'll carry on.
So carry on.
Yeah, like carry on, live your life, man.
Yeah.
Keep going. Don't worry about me. You'll forget about me.
I don't think I've ever heard a response like that. Man, that was good.
Yeah, I tell you, you look at life the way I do.
Yeah.
You start to look at all these little things, and you're just like, okay, you know. That's the way. I don't know, but it's a lot of my journey alone with God. Again, I don't have all the buzz noise in my ear.
Right.
People telling me how I should be a certain way with my faith with God or anything. I think God has spoken to me in so many different ways to appreciate things. And so it's like, damn, everything I listen to, see, everything from food, everything. It's a weird, I feel like it's like a seventh sense almost, or a sixth sense almost. It's just kind of like a different experience. If you really stop and focus on what you're doing or whatever. I challenge you to do that one day. Just something that you enjoy doing, and just slow down while you're doing it, and just kind of like figure out why you like doing that thing and why you enjoy it, and what is that thing doing? And you'll start like, man, this doesn't make any sense. This thing shouldn't work this way, or this thing shouldn't make me feel why do I feel this way when I do this, right?
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of like,
see it from a different perspective.
yeah, and then you're just kind of like, huh. And then now you'll start to understand why people do other things, and then you start to kind of break away from all that, and you're just like, then that's for me. Now I really don't care what other people do.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever, leave him alone. That's what he likes to do. That's what he likes to do. Who cares?
Yeah.
He likes scratching his ass and sniffing his fingers. Let him. Who cares? If he gets a disease, that's his problem. But, it's whatever.
And that's how the zombie apocalypse
Started.
And they're so slow because they're still trying to... And they're always going like this. They rub their nose off.
They don't bite you. They stick their fingers in your nose.
Oh, man. Favorite artist?
Well, what do you mean? Like singer?
Singer, yeah. Band. Or band or...
Well, My Chemical Romance is my favorite.
Band. Favorite artist?
Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance.
Oh, you're all in.
I'm all in. He's such a great storyteller, and
Didn't they stop for a while?
Yeah, they're
What
on tour.
happened?
They're on tour right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they just took a hiatus. Gerard Way he took a tragedy. He took what happened on 9/11, formed his band, and he just started telling these really dark stories about people who just feel like they couldn't live anymore through tragedy. That's what a lot of their albums are, and that there's always hope at the end of the road. And like The Black Parade is one of my favorite albums because it's all about death. It's about just going through this journey and figuring out love and compassion and just everything you could think of, before you die. Or when you ask me, like, what do you think happens after you die? I feel like the Black Parade album is a perfect example of storytelling. It's a lot of chaos. You're just kind of going through it. And that album I listen to that album all the time. All the time. It's one of my favorite albums. So, yeah, go listen to My Chemical Romance, Black Parade.
I'm so... maybe because I haven't been into music as much as I was when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I'm so sad of how little new rock music there is these days. Because I feel like, man, going through middle school, high school, it was just... I guess technically it was like alternative, right? After 90s rock, punk rock coming up. But man, there was so much, and it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, Mudvayne, Chevelle.
Oh, Chevelle, yeah.
They're coming to the tech port, actually.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I think I need to hit up my guy so I can get my Frost Bank.
Oh, yeah, the Frost Banks. No,
seats or
no,
Frost
they're
Tower. What are they? The
Boeing
Frost
Center.
Yeah, Boeing Center. Yeah, no, but they hook me up with VIP sometimes.
The Frostback room.
Yeah,
the little,
I need to hit 'em up.
Center. Yeah.
There's a song you should listen to from My Chemical Romance. It's called "The Foundations of Decay." They released it 3 years ago. It's their
new?
newest song.
It's good.
Oh my god,
Quality.
Good song. It's about 8 minutes long, but it's the best 8
I
minutes.
gotta write this down right now.
Yeah, Foundations of Decay. Yeah, no, you know what? It's funny you talk about music like that. That's why I had started Chancla Academy Rock Fest when I did, because I really wanted
promote that new rock music.
just give these people opportunities. After that first year, a lot of people got opportunities, but you have people that are extremely greedy, that didn't believe in what you were doing to begin with, and they took advantage of that. And then when they saw the success of that, then they wanted to take credit and be recognized for something that I didn't even do. It was the whole, if you build it, they will come. And I built it, but if those bands didn't agree to be there, those vendors and those people didn't believe in it, it would have never happened. Doesn't matter what my social status was. It happened because those people were craving for something like this. So they had to show up. But then you have people that come and want to ruin that for you because they didn't get all the glory from it, And it sucks. It sucks. We are planning on bringing it back in 2026. Just probably not to San Antonio, unfortunately. It's just... You gotta...
Somebody's keeping the rock music alive, man.
Yeah.
I will say some of the things that I feel like tore the audience, because rock is kind of an older generation. It's already starting.
There's dad rock,
die.
yeah.
No, I mean classic rock, but I feel like in my era of going to work out, everybody worked out to rock music, and then rap started coming up, and then I'm like working out.
Well, now
everybody,
you're having these rap and rock fusions happening now.
well,
Falling in Reverse is
Hollywood Undead. You ever heard them?
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I was like, oh man, that was like rap and rock.
If you want
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right now, Falling in Reverse, and that guy is a storyteller. Ronnie Radke is an amazing storyteller. He just did a song with Marilyn Manson called If God Was a Woman. It's not, the title is not what you think the song is going to be about. It's all part of a story that he's telling. It's beautifully done. Beautifully done. Like, I'm like, this is how storytelling should be when it comes to music.
Yeah.
He has some pentagram. It's not like demonic evil. It's part of the theatrics of what he's trying to tell. And you have to see beyond that and everything. And he's really good at storytelling. Music's insane. It's like rock and roll and then rap. He raps. You're like, oh my God, that guy's rapping. It's so crazy, but it's good. You'll trust me. I'll give it like a month before you're like, hey, did you see the new video?
I'm always jotting down, like picking up where I can just to
Yeah.
keep the genre alive. And,
Yeah.
I mean, man, I loved my favorite band of all time, Stained.
Oh, I remember when I got into Stain.
Oh man, it's a dark place, and it still goes dark sometimes. But man, and Aaron Lewis, he's doing his own
country now,
thing,
too.
country. But that Break the Cycle album, man. That one,
Break the Cycle was really good. I remember I saw them live.
I've never seen them,
Dude.
and I'm like, my wife, together we could afford tickets.
Yeah.
And I'll just say on a limb, I could afford tickets myself, but I still haven't gone to see them. But all my buddies have, and they all know, like, me and my brother were our favorite movies.
Yeah. I saw them. I love music so much. I was in a band too when I was like younger.
What'd you play?
I was a singer.
You were the singer?
Yeah. We're
Rock?
Yeah. Our band was called Steel Stilettos. I just came up with it like really fast. I was like, yeah.
I noticed there's a feet fetish you got with going on stilettos and chanclas. What's next?
Boots, Uggs Academy.
Hugs Academy.
Yeah, no. Seeing Aaron Lewis live, dude, it's an experience. It's an experience. Especially when he plays a lot of the classics.
Yeah.
Have you ever plays them?
Oh.
It's like everybody's like unified. Everybody starts singing and you get goosebumps and you're like, oh my God, like what the hell? It's how I feel when I listen to My Chemical Romance. It's this collective thing. Their storytelling is so amazing. They're not just a rock band making music. They're telling you a story.
Yeah.
They have this thing where everybody says My Chemical Romance saved my life. I feel like that too. I feel like they saved my life because their music just did something to you to make you feel like you can attack life, go after it and live it. And Gerard Way, the singer, made sure to let you know that. He would give you very compassionate during his shows and stuff and would tell you like, this is why we wrote this song. And then you feel like, oh, okay, other bands probably say that, but the way he said it with such conviction, it was like, but we knew that what he went through because we saw that from when he was an alcoholic. They did a whole documentary
on him.
And you would think that they wouldn't show that side of him. They were showing how he was just falling over, throwing up, and causing problems for the band. They recorded this whole journey, and then how he changed so much over time is like, oh my God, he's messed up too, just like me.
Yeah,
I can change my life, and that from then on, it was the rest is history. MCR saved our lives, so it's okay to be a little bit messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're quality, man.
Yeah.
Blue October. You follow them?
They always play over here at Techport.
They played twice, and I've missed both of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I could have swore I saw the crowd, and it's not as big as it used to be.
I love Blue October, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that, foiled album.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that one hit everybody in high school. And then back when voicemails were a thing, right? Hearing the song start out like that, oh, shit.
Yeah,
man.
it's like, damn.
Mom. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, and then the feels.
Yeah, I feel you.
And seeing him, honestly, we got to see him real close in South by Southwest. And the fact that they're from Texas, they're best live band I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And my wife, we both went. We took a picture with them before we had kids and got away from college. And we're like, man, yeah, just Justin, he's got a voice too, man. I mean, Justin, Aaron Lewis. I mean, they're all very unique. You hear him in any song, that's them.
Yeah.
It's very authentic to them.
It is. I love music. I wish I could still be a part of it, but God, just so much work. So much work.
Yeah.
We're doing something fun with music for Abuela, but we're doing like 2 songs.
What can you tell us about Abuela?
She's a crazy maniac. There's a show we're coming up with called It's Time for Dead. And she's going to be our crypt keeper and telling these cool little stories that I want to tell. You know, just taking the everyday things that we grew up as Latinos or just people in general and making them horror. Like, or not even like murderous horror, but just creepy little tales like Goosebumps. You know, I'm working on something called Sombras because everything was in the shadows, as my grandmother would tell me. And so when I get to announce that, I think people are going to be like, oh, okay, let's see where you go with that, you know? But It's Time for Dead is a play on It's Time for Bed. And so she's going to tell these scary stories, but we're going to film them. So it's kind of like Are You Afraid of the Dark, kind of stuff like that. But in like 3 minutes, we're going to try to tell a story.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens with that.
Okay. Are you promoting anything?
Not right now. I don't really have much going on at the moment. In September, I will be promoting something, but I've learned not to open my mouth. I was told once it's done, then talk about it. If it's not done, don't say nothing because anything can happen.
Yeah, don't cry wolf.
Yeah. So when we do have something to announce, we'll announce it. And I think everybody would be surprised because it'll be a finished product that I have for the first time and nobody's waiting for months to see something from me. Yeah, that I don't really got anything going on other than we're just writing right now and doing some stuff that we're going to film, and we'll see what happens with it.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. Well, you can find me on all platforms under Chancla Academy. I'm hard to miss. Hard to miss. There ain't no other person with that name.
Well, Joe, this has been a pleasure chatting with you. I think we've gone all over the map.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking of maps. I'm glad you're coming back home to the South Side.
I know.
It's where collaboration and opportunity are on the rise. So
yeah,
looking forward to what the future holds in your films and your movie and in the industries that you're trying to tap into, and that you've already got a full foot, maybe even a leg in.
Yeah.
I think they're going to bring a good environment of collaboration. You know, we talked about your purpose. We talked about your vision and your faith, and I'm excited to see where that leads you.
Same here.
Thank you, brother.
No, thank you.